Here's a recap of your markets on this Thursday, the 9th day of October. Take a look at a few stick-out sales from around the auction barns today. Mostly all calves, not a whole lot of yearlings to be found. Offerings a bit lighter this week at about all the barns, so not quite as many big drafts being seen today. At Mocan Livestock Market in Butler, they sold 12 head of 502-pound steers at $484. 23 head of 561-pound steers brought $450.50. At Mid-Missouri Stockyards in Phillipsburg, they sold 15 head of 655-pound steers at $421. 38 head of 750-pound steers brought $383. And then at Wheeler Livestock Auction in Osceola, they had 15 head of 501-pound heifers that sold at $465. Box beef cutout values, choice down 94 cents for the day at $365.22. Select down 91 cents at $344.33. Volume 137 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The choice select spread at $20.89. Negotiated feedlot trade for the week still basically at a standstill. 2,105 head, mostly outside of the 5-state feeding region. Texas has only reported 78 head for the week. Still not a hoof has moved in Kansas. Nebraska reported 37 head today, one load of heifers at $358 dressed. Iowa's reported 712 head for the week. A few live sales at $230 to $231. A few dress sales at $358. Taking a look at the livestock futures today, feeder cattle still just on an absolute skyrocketing pace going uphill right now. Since last Thursday, feeder cattle contracts have put on $20 to $22. The CME Cash Feeder Cattle Index, it was up another $1.84 today based on roughly an 800-pound steer up through the 12-state feeding region, once again establishing an all-time new record high at $367.35. Live cattle for October closed up $1.17 at $235.02, December $239.90 up $102, and February $243.40 up $117. October feeder cattle closed up $452 at $374.02, November $374.05 up $522, and January $369.05 up $552. Lean hogs for October, $97 even. That was down 62 cents. December at $84.35, down $175. February $86.67, down $145. Taking a look at the grain markets now. Cash bids at the elevators around the state. The trends today: corn mixed 3 lower to 2 higher. Beans were uneven, 7 lower to 5 higher. Wheat unchanged. Corn bids in the St. Louis region, $4.35 to $4.36. Kansas City at $4.39 or $4. Kansas City corn at $3.92. Bean bids in St. Louis, $10.35. Kansas City, $9.62 to $9.77. Wheat in St. Louis, $4.56 to $4.94. Kansas City at $4.61. On the board of trade today, corn, December closed down 3 3/4 at $4.18 1/4. March down 3 3/4 at $4.34, and May down 3 1/2 at $4.42 3/4. November beans down 7 1/4 at $10.22 1/4. January 10.38 1/2, down 5 3/4. March down a nickel at $10.52 1/4. December wheat, 3/4 of a cent lower, closing the day at $5.06 1/2. March at $5.24, down 1 1/4, and May at $5.36 1/4, down 1 1/2. Soybean meal for October down $1.10 a ton at $269.70. Soybean oil for October, 50.38 a hundredweight, down 59 cents. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets on Thursday. This is Tom.